Hello, welcome to the, what is it, Monday night live stream. Oh my goodness, good to see you guys. Hopefully you're in store for a nice bit of geography fun, a bit of geography revision. Yeah, how are we? Hit us up in the chat. Who's in the chat today? Who's joining us for the live stream? Yeah, how are things? How are things? Crucial before we get started with our revision. Who's opened their advent calendar? Door number 2. Absolutely, I'm sure you have. What advent calendars have we got? Hit us up in the chat. Yeah, what advent calendars have we got as well? I'm interested to know. I've not even opened my door 2 yet. So as soon as I get off this live stream, I'm straight down to open my door number 2. I know what you're thinking. Sir, you're too old for an advent calendar. Never too old. Never too old. Christmas is I love Christmas. One of my favorite times of the year. As you can tell, here we go. Look, guys, we've decorated the studio. It's just a room, but I call it a studio for now. We've decorated the studio with some Christmas lights. Have you decorated your bedroom as well? Have you decorated your room? Have you got your Christmas tree up? I'm asking you too many questions. Have you put your tree up? Have you got some decorations up? Have you opened your advent calendar? Yeah, get us updated. Let's get feeling Christmassy. We've only got this one and one more before Christmas, so we've got to get really Christmassy, haven't we? Get in the mood for it. I know we've got exams. They're important, but so is Christmas as well. Let's combine the two, Christmas and revision. I think that's good. Also, we can reward ourselves after Christmas with a bit more thing. If you're wondering what this is, by the way, it is a wooden fish, but now it's glowing. So it's some sort of radioactive bioluminescence glowfish in the studio. Everybody knows I like fish. Got a hobby to do with it. That's quite good. And I thought I'd put some Christmas lights on for you. They're not normally there, by the way. I've just put them on for tonight's live stream, so hopefully you appreciate that. Right, let's see who's in the chat then. First of all, hello, Mod. Good to see you. On time, unlike me. I was a minute late tonight. Bruno, awesome. Thanks for dropping into the live stream. Really appreciate it. Glad you could make it on our penultimate session. Lily, yes. Lily's in. Good to see you, Lily. Hello to everybody as well who's watching. Harry, good to see you, Harry. Thanks for dropping in on the live stream today. I feel like I'm reading the news there. I'm not reading the news. Milky Bar advent calendar. Good choice. My boy would love that. Oh, Kaya, very posh. She's gone with the lint. To be fair, I've got some lint. Let me just show you the camera here. Let me just share. Here we go, guys. Where is it? Screen share. Here we go. There we go. Can you see that? Got a little bit of lint action here. Now, as you know, I always have some revision goodies. You've got to have goodies to get you through your revision. Something positive, something sweet. I'm not going to eat all these, by the way, but I'll probably eat this one. Yeah, little lint chocolate. Already getting in the spirit. Obviously, we've got our cup of tea, guys. Here we go. Always got a cup of tea. It looks a bit milky today, though. I don't know what's going on there. Poured a bit too much milk in it. And as you know, in about 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to get started with our case study. So you're going to need a highlighter, a pen, and obviously a selection of colours. There you go. There you go. Make sure you've got everything you need. I always have a ruler, and I don't know why, but I never use it. So if you haven't grabbed everything you need a piece of paper, a ruler, some colour crayons, a pen, and a highlight. If you haven't got those, go and grab them. And remember, if you make tonight's mind map, whatever it is, revision map, show your geography teacher, and you can get a Bromcom reward as well. So have you got everything that you need equipment-wise? Have you got your... What have people got for their live stream tonight? What have you got there? Have you got a cup of tea, hot chocolate, can of pop? Let us know in the chat what you've got to get you through tonight's live stream. Have you got any chocolates? I'm going to eat this one now, by the way. Have you got any chocolates, biscuits, anything nice? I shouldn't be eating this before I do the live stream. I should be treat myself as I do it or afterwards. But I agree with Kaya. Lint chocolates are amazing. Yeah, very good. So, big shout out to Lynn if you're watching. You make amazing chocolates. No sponsors on this channel, though. Moderator, of course. Fire hazard. Let me know if it catches fire, then we'll be in trouble. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't. Ramesa, yes. Welcome, Ramesa. Welcome to the Geography live stream on a Monday night. That's my camera, by the way, if you're wondering what that is. Geography live stream, good to see you. Olivia, yes, Olivia, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us on Geography on a Monday night. It's raining anyway, so you don't want to be outside. Raining, it's rubbish, it's cold. Good to see you. And Alex, good to see you, Alex. Did you have a nice birthday, by the way? Hope you had a lovely birthday. Thanks for the chocolate orange. I should have eaten that. I had some at the weekend, actually. Chocolate orange is amazing. And if any mums are watching in the background or any dads are watching, hello to parents as well in the background. I have my cup of tea. Yes, Lily. Cup of tea. Best thing. Why don't they sell cups of tea at school? I don't get it. You should be able to get a cup of tea at break and lunch. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Wow. Toasty. So it sounds like you're having your dinner still. Eating a full toasty. That is nice. Toasty, 4 cheese, I like. Or is it 3 cheese? I don't know. 3 cheese. Nice little toasty. Right. Good to catch up with you. Just before we do officially start, we'll start in 1 minute. Anybody got their Christmas tree up yet? Ours is not up. We haven't put ours up yet. We're putting it up this week. I've literally put them up just for you guys, so it feels a little bit Christmassy. But has anybody got the Christmas tree? Just remember, this is our penultimate December mock live stream revision. We've got one more next Monday, which is the start of the mock series, as you know. But geography is the week after. We're the following Wednesday. But we've got tonight's, which is on coast. I absolutely love the coast. Head into the coast as much as possible. Visit the British seaside. It's nice. And next week is rivers. And then that'll be it. We'll have a break for Christmas. So we've got rivers to next week. That'll be a proper Christmassy one. We might even play a Christmas song if we don't get banned on YouTube for copyright. We might play a Christmas song for that. Yeah, but this one is all about coasts. Right, are we ready to go? The mod's got his Christmas tree up. Very good, mod. You're very festive. Hey, I'm glad you're on the geography trip as well, by the way. If you do A-level geography, we take you on a Christmas party. There you go. So anybody who's watching, who's thinking about doing A-level geography, do it. You get to go on a Christmas party with school. We're going laser tag, bowling, and for food. I know year 11s, you're jealous. I know you want to go and do that, but I can't take 103 of you out bowling. It's too many of you. So you have to wait for doing GCSE. Sorry, doing A-level. Now you're doing GCSE. Right, let's get started then, guys. Tonight's topic is UK coasts. We're going to look at erosion. We're going to look at erosional landforms. And we're going to look at managing the coast. Anything that you miss, you can obviously catch up as well. Pause the video. And watch it anytime you want as well. Right, here we go. No more messages. If anybody want to say anything before we start? No. If you do, hit us up in the chat. Let's go to our camera. Here we go. So let's just get the camera in position. Hopefully the lighting is pretty good. Just make it a bit whiter for you guys. There we go. We do our best, don't we? Here. It must be the only school that does revision on YouTube, or one of the few schools that do revision on YouTube. Very few do this. Right, I think I've got all my paper in the shop. So this is, here we go then, guys. Here we go. This is question 3 on your paper 1 exam, and it's called UK coasts. There we go. So it's question 3, UK coasts. This section should take you 15 minutes to complete in your exam. So 15 minutes in total. on this one. We are going to fill in this top section here first. Again, right, quite small. We've got to try and squeeze a lot in today. So we're just going to go to the top corner here, guys. So question 3 coast. Let's just get your level. Here we go. So today we're going to start by looking at erosion. Now, our coastline is fantastically beautiful, and many of the features that you see along the coastline are formed from erosion. And erosion is the removal of rocks. Yeah, this is normally done either by the wind or water. So anything that moves rocks from one position to another, that's called erosion. This happens at the coastline. It's a key word, so let's highlight that. Erosion. And it is the removal of rocks. So let's just draw a little cliff with a little gap out of it. Yeah. That is erosion, where a rock is moved from its current position somewhere else. So it's the removal of rocks by wind or water. There we go. And that is erosion. There we go. You know I like the pictures and the colour. It's really important that you've got pictures and colour because it helps with revision. So there are 4 types of erosion. 4 types of erosion. If you can hit us up in the chat, guys, what are the 4 types of erosion? Who can remember the 4 types of erosion? Hit us up in the chat, see if you can remember any of the 4 types of erosion. They're going to be really important for today's revision. Let's see what we'll come up with. Hey, Hamace. Good to see you, Hamace. Always on the live stream, regular. I do appreciate it. You do watch pretty much every one of them. I think you've probably watched everyone. You used to watch it in year 10 as well. Right, 4 types of erosion. Come on, guys. Do we not know any? Oh, we're getting some coming in. Yes. Oh, they're coming in thick and fast now, guys. I knew you wouldn't let me down. I knew you wouldn't let me down. So, Harry, attrition. Well done, attrition. We're going to talk about that one. And Lily's got all 4. Very smart, Lily. Hydraulic action, abrasion, attrition, and solution. And a smiley face. Well done. And Kaya's also got the same ones. Yeah, well done, Kaya, as well. Absolutely fantastic. So let's have a little look at these then. We're going to start with let's start with abrasion. We'll do them in alphabetical order. So I'm just going to draw a little bit of a cliff here. Oh, let's put here 4 types. So in your exam, you might be asked to explain how a landform is created, so how something's formed. And to do that, if it's an erosion landform, you will need to mention these 4 types of erosion. So here is our rock. Yeah. And it's sliding backwards and forwards. And it's creating some erosion. So let's just get a little bit of colour on so you can see what I'm doing. That's the top of the cliff. Here is the cliff that's eroding. And let's put the water in. And as you can see, this rock here has created an area of erosion, a zone of erosion here. Okay. So this large rock is rubbing against the base of the cliff. So this one is called abrasion. These are all key words, guys, and you will get marks for these. So abrasion, let's highlight that. Abrasion. And this is the wearing away of cliffs. The wearing away of cliffs by transported sediment. So this rock here is already in the water and it's rubbing at the base of the cliff. And that's called sandpaper action. So a bit like if you're in the garage and a workbench and you're trying to rub down the wood, you'd use sandpaper because it's abrasive. Abrasion is where two surfaces rub together and wear each other down. Some people, if they fall over and scratch their knee, you know, if you've got a graze, they say, oh, you've got an abrasion. And basically, it's when two surfaces rub together and wear themselves down. And what abrasion will create is this little feature here. This bit that's missing is called a wave cut notch. So it's a small section at the base of the cliff where abrasion has worn it away. It's called a wave cut notch. So we're going to highlight that. Wave cut notches are formed from abrasion. There we go. Right, that's number one. Let's do attrition. So this is where two rocks collide together. So we just put them bashing into each other. There we go. That's two rocks there in the water just crashing together, colliding together. There we go. And this one is called attrition. So that's our second one. Attrition. There we are. I'll try and get you a bit closer if I can. Attrition. Okay. And this is where rocks collide in the water. So in the wave, basically, over time, wearing them down and making them small in size and smoother. So when you collect some rocks, I don't know if anybody else does this, I'm a little bit sad, but I like collecting rocks at the coast. When you collect rocks at the coast, they're always really, really smooth, aren't they? Like smooth pebbles. And if you've ever wondered why they're so smooth, it's because of attrition. They collide together and knock all the sharp edges off. And that's one of the reasons why they are nice and smooth. So that's why I get these nice smooth pebbles. So it makes them smaller and smoother. Right, let's do our third one. So the third one is probably the trickiest one. We need to get some air bubbles in there. There we go. So this is where you've got air. So this is air in the cliff. So if you look at a cliff, there's loads of little cracks and gaps in that cliff. And inside those gaps and cracks is air bubbles, or air, basically. And what that does is, let me just show you here when a wave comes in. So when a wave comes in and hits the cliff, there's our wave coming in. The wave puts pressure on the air that's trapped in the gap. It compresses the air inside the cliff and puts pressure, and it basically forces the cliff and fractures the rock apart. So let me just put some fractures on there. Yeah. So the compressed air actually forces the rock apart and causes it to erode. So we've got our air pockets inside there, and inside this crack, the pressure is put on the air pockets and it forces the rock apart, creating erosion. It's the force of the water, hydro action, basically, hydraulic action. So let's put that one in. And it's definitely a key term, so I'll highlight that one, hydraulic action. So this one is, these are all definitions from our AQA word bank, where waves compress air trapped in cracks, weakening the rocks. Yeah, and that obviously causes erosion. So waves compress air, that's the air trapped in the gaps, pushes it apart, weakens the rock, and then just put there, causing erosion. Causing erosion. And then bits of rocks, with all these three things, bits of rocks end up falling from the cliff, all being moved around from the cliff. Right, we've got one more, remember, because there's 4 types of erosion. So our last one is solution. So let's draw a little picture. Here is our rock in the water. And I want it to look like they're dissolving. So maybe I need to have a bit of yellow here. Oops, where's my yellow crayon? Here we go. Hey, sorry guys. Here we go. Yellow crayon. So these rocks are dissolving. There we go. And I want it to kind of, yeah. I've just done it in yellow because it looks like kind of a bit more dissolving. There we go. Bubbles are rising up. So it looks like it's dissolving. That's the best you're going to get from my artwork, guys. Okay, this one is called solution. Okay, so solution. Let's highlight that because that's a key term. So if you get asked about erosion, these are the 4 types of erosion. The good thing about this is these are the same 4 for rivers. So once you've learnt them for coasts, you then have them for rivers. So solution, rocks such as sedimentaries such as chalk maybe, or limestone, dissolve, that's a key term, dissolve in salt water. So things like calcium carbonate is an alkali, which is limestone, and seawater is ever so slightly acidic in some, well, around the UK it is anyway, and it will dissolve very slowly over time. So it dissolves there in the seawater. So there are 4 types of erosion. Yeah, erosion. Oops, let's take you up a slight bit. There we go. Oh, that's quite impressive. I quite like that. 4 types of erosion, and once you know these 4 types of erosion, they explain the formation of many landforms around the coast, our erosional landforms, and these are the same for rivers. So these are really important to make sure that you remember your 4 types of erosion. Right, the next thing we're going to look at is, let's just show you where my page is now, guys. So that's just taken up a small section there, look, of that top bit. So I'm just going to bubble it off down here. So that's one key bit from today's revision. And bubble it off around here. So it's one little section. So that's the 4 types of erosion. Okay. Right, now I want to do about the formation of bays and headlands, and I'm going to use this little section here. Okay. I'm going to leave that edge there for something a bit later, and I'm going to leave this bottom section here. Okay. So we're going to now look at an erosional landform. Okay. So let's zoom you in, guys, so you've got a good, yeah, there we go. Let me just move you over a little bit. I'll get you. There you go. So formation of bays and headlands. Who remembers this from year 10? Formation of bays and headlands. Okay. Now these features are created by erosion. But who can remember what bays and headlands are? Hit us up in the chat, guys. Who knows what bays and headlands are? Or maybe you know how they form. Can you remember how they form? There is a link to erosion, but how do bays and headlands form? Just hit us up in the chat whilst I have a little drink of tea. Formation of bays and headlands. Who's going to be first? Do you know what they are? Can you explain their formation? Now, what I want to do actually is show you a little picture of bays and headlands. Just so we know what we're talking about here. Dee-dee-dee. Let's have a little look here. Get your picture up. Okay, let me get you a picture so you can see. Present. Stop screen share. Okay, this is bays and... Oh, someone's put a really detailed answer in here. Bays and headlands. Here we go. So this is... I'll just zoom in for you. A very good picture of bays and headlands. So these are formed by erosion, which means they are rocks that have been taken away over time by the sea. Hydraulic action, abrasion, attrition, solution. So I don't know if you can see my mouse here, but this is the headland. Yeah, these are headlands, these areas that extend out into the sea. That's a headland. There is another headland up there. Look, you can see one. That's a headland. And here in the foreground is a bay. You can see here where a little beach is. There's a little beach here, and this is an area that goes in. So bays go in, there's another bay, and headlands extend outwards. So that is your bays and headlands. So let's have a little look at the chat then, see if anybody has managed to get this. Lily, let's have a look. They break down by hydraulic action. The softer rock breaks down quicker, yeah, through erosion. And whereas the hard rock is the headlands. Well done, you. Lily. Awesome. You are incredible. Right, let's do this, guys. So bays and headlands, let's do it. Here's the camera. Right, you're spot on, Lily. Your revision is going well for geography. Formation of bays and headlands. So let's draw a before picture. So before, and I want to draw a section of coastline that's not really changed very much. Okay, so there we go. And we've got these bands of alternating geology or rock types. So these are our resistant rocks here. Resistant rocks. Such as igneous, and I can't fit metamorphic, but metamorphic rocks. So things like granite, things like, to some extent, slate, yeah, maybe. But granite's a really good example of a resistant rock. Then we have our resistant rocks here. You know, we have these alternating bands. Again, that could be igneous rocks or metamorphic. And then we have our less resistant. Some people say soft. I prefer not to, because rocks aren't soft, are they? Less resistant or more resistant? Generally less resistant. These tend to be sedimentary rocks. Sandstone could be an example. So we're going to colour our band of softer rocks in yellow. That's our band of softer rocks there. Less resistant, should I say. And this is our band of more resistant rocks here. Just making it look nice, guys. We're trying to. Yeah, and out here is the sea. And this could be, let's say, 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago. This is what the coastline looked like 1,000 years ago. It's a relatively flat coastline. Yeah, pretty straight coastline, should I say. Not much in terms of its features. So we've got here key term. I need to write, I'm going to write this sideways, guys. This is really important when you're talking about bays and headlands. Differing bands, which means kind of lines, differing bands of geology. So we've got resistant rocks, less resistant rocks, resistant rocks. These are all things that are going to get you marks. So differing bands of geology. Yeah, less resistant and more resistant rocks. Okay. Today, let's do today now. So if we fast forward 1,000 years, this is what the same coastline would look like. Probably just, you're going to get some erosion of the resistant rocks. We're going to have a lot of erosion there. There we go. And we'll add a few more features in. So this is the same coastline today. This is our less resistant rocks. Yeah. And now we've got a feature here. Oops. Where the less resistant rocks are, same yellow. This is called the bay. And in the bay, there is a beach. A beach. So all this rock that was once in this area has eroded because it's less resistant. Hydraulic action, abrasion, attrition have eroded these softer rocks much quicker, and they've then put the sediment down in this area to form a beach. So beaches form due to the erosion of cliffs. That's how they form. So that's our beach there. Then we've got our resistant rocks up here. Here's our resistant rocks. Let's colour them because it's the same coastline, but just 1,000 years on. It does take a long time. So here's our resistant rocks, and this will form a headland. So here is our headland. So let's get some key terms down. Headland. A headland is a resistant area of rock extending out to the sea. Okay, so an area of rock that extends out into the sea is a headland. So we've got one headland. We've actually got two headlands in this diagram. There is our second headland down here. So headland, headland. E.g., because we're going to be a little bit geeky, e.g., Flamborough Head. Has anybody been to Flamborough Head? Let us know. Hit us up in the chat if you've been to Flamborough Head. It's on the east coast. It's not too far from Bridlington, if you've been to Bridlington. Flamborough Head. Resistant area of rock extending out into the sea. A bay, let's put a bay in. So here we go. Bay. Key term. So bays form where there's areas of softer, less resistant geology, high rates of erosion, and a bay is curved land with a beach. So if you've been on holiday and you've been on a beach, chances are there's been two headlands either side of the beach, which is the bay. Okay, bays go in. So we'll put the sea in. Here we go. There's the sea going in. Yeah, this is looking down. Yeah, this is looking down on the coastline. So let's really impress the examiners now with a few more higher grade terminology. So coastlines where you've got resistant rock, less resistant, resistant. You get these bands of different geology strengths. These are called a discordant discordant coastline. A discordant coastline. So let's highlight that. Okay. What does that mean when you have bands of varying geology? So resistant, less resistant, resistant. Varying geology. Perpendicular to the coast. So orientated at a right angle to the coast. So this is what we mean. This is a really high level term. You only get bays and headlands. No, you don't. This is the main way bays and headlands form, where you've got a discordant coastline, resistant, less resistant, resistant, and then you've got these different bands that erode at different paces. Now, this is the most important bit. I've saved it right to the end of this little section. And the reason why we get bays and headlands is due to different rates of erosion. Yeah, that needs to be in yellow, highlighted. Different rates of erosion. So where the rates are fast rates of erosion, we've got bays. In fact, maybe we can put that there. Slow erosion. Yeah. Where the resistant rock is, it's very hard for the sea to break down these tightly bonded rock structures here. Then we've got fast erosion, fast rates of erosion where the bays and headlands are. And then we'd have slow again here. Yeah, slow erosion again. So this is explaining why we get bays and headlands. You get these different rates of erosion, and that's why we get the bays forming. That's where the fastest rates of erosion are. And it's also where the weakest geology is. So if you ever wondered why the coastline looks like this, let's just go back to our original picture. Oops. If you've ever wondered why, there you go. Why we get these wonderful features like bays and headlands. The headlands are more resistant bands of rock, and the bays are the weaker, softer bands of rock. So there you go. Brilliant. Let's catch up with the chat just briefly. Well done, Lily, on that answer. That's amazing. Ethan, how are you getting on? Hope you're all right. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you joining the live stream tonight. Are you looking forward to Christmas? Hopefully you're looking forward to Christmas as well. Getting exciting now, isn't it? We're nearly onto it. Right, so let me just show you where we are, guys. So there we go. That's my paper. We do have to kind of squeeze in a lot of this, so I'm just going to, again, just box off this section here. Also, you must appreciate that I am teaching people in the live stream who are trying to get grade 9s. So we do have to include quite a lot of detail to get those grade 9s. So there we are. Right, now I'm going to use this space here underneath. And we're going to look at these features next. I'm going to draw them first and then see if you can name them. Okay, so these are features caused by or formed by erosion. So let me get my drawing skills out here. Hit us up in the chat as soon as you know what I'm drawing. It's a very famous features. These are one of my absolute faves of the coast. Who knows what this is? Nobody knows because your drawings are so terrible, sir. You're probably right. Okay, maybe with a bit of colour, you'll all start to see what we're doing here. I think it's a bit worrying how much I enjoy drawing these things. The best bit of geography is the physical geography when you're doing all these diagrams. I love it. Absolutely love it. Add a bit of colour. I always like to go around it in a bit darker. I think it always looks better then. There we go. So does anybody know what features this is yet? Not seeing much in the chat at the moment. You guys know these. Come on. Oh, I need a pencil here. Smudge that in there. Or you're all just busy drawing. I don't know. There we go. So this is our next feature, guys. Formed by erosion. They are absolutely incredible. You're in for a real treat if you get to see these at the coastline. Let me just get you in shot there. So what are these features called? Yes, Bruno is the first one to get it right. Here we go. Absolutely right. The formation of stacks, stumps, and arches. Yeah, well done, Bruno. That's what we're going to look at next. So the formation of stacks, stumps, and arches. So actually we call them caves, arches, stacks, and stumps. Fun fact, we'll come to that in a minute, Mod. I love your fun facts. Keep them coming. So these are caves, arches, this is the order, stacks, and stumps. There we go. Caves, arches, stacks, and stumps. A good place to see these features is, for our higher grades as well, is the Jurassic Coast down in Dorset. So the Jurassic Coast in Dorset is a good place to go spotting for these particular features. Right, let's label them up then. So number one is a fault or a crack. There we go. Number two is a cave, all formed by erosion over time. Number three is an arch. Oh, we need to put in something here, actually. Yeah. We'll add number four there. We'll talk about that in a minute. Number five, it is a big pillar of rock. It's called a stack. There we go. And number six is a little stump. Oh, I do always feel sorry for the stump. So there you go. Fault, cave, arch, stack, stump. We find these along the Jurassic Coast. Right. A quick run through of the key bits of the formation. So number one. Here we go. Let's just zoom you in so you can see a bit better now. There we go. Number one. A large crack or fault. Crack is formed by hydraulic action. So hydraulic action, the force of water putting pressure on air in gaps will start to open up a crack formed by hydraulic action. Okay, so that's how the fault forms. Okay. Number two. Hydraulic action, because you have to explain the causes of erosion here, the types of erosion. Hydraulic action and abrasion form a cave, which is a feature that you find at the coast. It's like a hollowed out area at the base of a cliff. You can't usually go all the way through. You can just go obviously in and out the same way. So that is our cave. All of these are formed at high tide. So when it's high tide, when the water level's high, that's when they start to form. That's when the water can erode the cliffs. So they form at high tide when the water level is high. Okay. We'll also put some other features in here, actually. Put one in there as well. Right. Number 3, which is the arch. Number 3. Caves erode through a headland. So 2 caves erode back to back and actually join up, basically, and you can go through the headland to form an arch, or what we call a sea arch. Okay, an example of this for my higher grades is, e.g., Durdle Door. Right, let me show you Durdle Door. This is absolutely stunning. Has anybody been to Durdle Door in the chat? Let us know if you've been to Durdle Door, guys. Fun fact, if you go to, yeah, this is true. If you go to sixth form geography A level, you get to go to visit. You get to visit the Holderness Coast. That is right. Thanks, Mod. Plug. Let's get him on A level geography because it's amazing. Right, let me show you Durdle Door. This will be well worth it. Images. Durdle Door. I'm sure many of you have seen this. It's a beautiful sea arch. Probably, arguably the best in the UK to go and visit. Here we go. Let me just share the screen with you guys so you can see. Screen share. Durdle Door. There you go. That is Durdle Door there. Look, absolutely beautiful sea arch. And there it is. That is an arch. Okay. There's our arch. There is caves down this end. There's a little cave here. And then there's faults here. You can see the gaps in the rock. There's your faults up this side. You've got caves at the bottom there. And you've got a beautiful sea arch forming in that area there. Oh, I do love Durdle Door. Really, really cool place to visit. When you're older and you can go down to Dorset, have a little look. It's amazing. Like, geographers should visit the Dorset coast. It is one of the best in the world. It's actually a UNESCO coastline, so it's really good. Right, Harry, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you very soon. Let's go to number 4, though. What's happening at number 4? Unsupported arch. Unsupported arch collapses. Yeah. So eventually, the roof of the arch becomes too heavy. The mass gets pulled down by gravity, and that will cause it to collapse. Okay, and that is what happens there. This little feature here, if you ever find a little rocky edge where you can stand, it's quite flat. That's called a wave cut platform. So often these form on wave cut platforms. Wave cut platform. In fact, let me show you a wave cut platform so you know what you're looking for in real life. Let me go back to Flamborough. Flamborough is amazing. That's on the east coast of England. Flamborough at low tide. So if you've ever been rock pooling, you will know what a wave cut platform is. Yeah. So let me just share this one with you. Can you see that, guys? You can't see that one. Let me just put this one on. Here we go. Oh, we're doing some showing off today. We've got loads of different screen sharing going on. So this is a wave cut platform, guys, here. This is the platform of rock. It's like a flat ledge of rock, and it's got rock pools. You can see these rock pools. These are amazing to go like exploring in. You've got a little bucket and a net and things. You can catch all sorts of things in the rock pools. But this is a wave cut platform. A wave cut platform is the base of the old cliff. So originally the cliff would have been stood on this area, but because of erosion, this is the base of the cliff that's left. It's called a wave cut platform. So often these form where we find caves, arches, stacks, and stumps. Right, let me go back to the diagram then, because Harry is queued up. He's queued me up here brilliantly to our next one, which is the stack. Okay, so number 5, a stack. Obviously, if you have to explain the features, how they form, is a tower of rock. Or maybe you call it a pillar. Probably better. Tower or pillar of rock. E.g., Old Harry. Old Harry. Again, that's down in Dorset. Dorset. Capital D for Dorset, Mr. Stafford. Come on, what are you doing? Let me show you Old Harry. It is incredible. It's probably the most famous stack in the UK. It's formed from chalk. It's down near Swanage Bay in Studland. Oh, this one's probably a good one here. Can we get zoomed in? Yes. Now this is probably the best area in the UK to see caves, arches, stack stumps, and all of that good stuff. Here it is. So let's have a little look. We can see faults. We can see a cave right where that little hand is. We can see an arch. There's an archway here. But there he is. This is the famous Old Harry. Beautiful stack of rock there, as you can see in the foreground. And then you can see here, this is a stump. Oh no, I've just clicked off of it. What's going on? There's a stump. There's a stump, guys. That is Old Harry's wife. She fell down in a storm in the 1950s. Heavy waves and lots of erosion. Yeah, that's a stump. So let's add those to our diagram, and Harry is absolutely correct. Old Harry. Fancy being named after one of the most famous coastal landforms that we have. Brilliant. The fact that you're named after that, Harry, is incredible. You should feel honoured to have that name. Right, so Old Harry is a pillar of rock that's built up. Let me just add in this little feature here. This is called a wave cut notch. So at the base of the cliff at high tide, rocks are taken away there, hydraulic action and abrasion. That's why our stack falls down and collapses into a stump, because the wave cut notch. Rocks are taken away at the base, basically like a Jenga tower. Only so many rocks can be taken away until it collapses down. So a stump, number 6, a stump is formed when a stack collapses. There you go. E.g., Old Harry's wife, again, in Dorset. And these little names, guys, these little names are really, really important. So I think we should highlight some of these. We've got crack, we've got cave, we've got arch, we've got stack, and we've got a stump. There we go. So if you're ever asked about the formation of caves, arches, stacks, and stumps, pretty much that's it. Yeah, there you go. That is all. Well, it's pretty much everything you want to say about it, really. That'll get you some good marks. Right. Let's just box this bit off here. Try and get as much space as you can for our last little bit today, guys, where we're going to look at coastal management. So now, if I show you my page, I've got that much left. Oh, I love it. Look how it's coming together, look. That's going to be brilliant for my revision. I've just got to study this then, learn all this stuff, and that will be fantastic. Yeah, well happy. Right, let's go on to this top section here, this last bit, looking at the management of the Holderness coast, the fastest eroding coastline in Europe. So I'm going to go up to the top here. Let me just get you nice and straight so you can see what I'm doing. Extend you over, there we go. Just get you straight. Sorry, guys. So we're going to look at the management of the Holderness Coast. Holderness Coast. As I say, you get to visit this coastline in real life if you do A-level geography. East Yorkshire, my home county of Yorkshire. Love it. East Yorkshire. It's very famous, this coastline. Does anybody know in the chat why this coastline is so famous? Why is it famous? Let's put a little star for our famous fact. Why is this coastline so famous? Just zoom you in a bit. Any ideas? Any ideas, guys? Okay. Oh, yes, Kaya. You geographers are smart. Smart. Yes, it is the fastest eroding coastline. Fastest eroding coastline. Noradine, awesome. Good to see you as well. Thanks for joining us. It is the fastest eroding coastline in Europe. Not in the world, in Europe. It erodes on average by 2 meters per year, roughly. There you go. Fastest eroding coastline in Europe. Therefore, if it's the fastest eroding coastline, it does need a serious amount of management, i.e. sea defences, to protect the people that live along this coastline. So let's have a little look what they've done. They've actually implemented, let's just do a little green tick here. So the local council and the Environment Agency, these are generally the main people that have organised. So the local council and the Environment Agency have set up an integrated, now this is a little bit technical, integrated coastal zone management. So if you're trying to get grades 5 and above, try and remember this. They've implemented an integrated coastal zone management plan, or an ICZM, integrated coastal zone management plan. So what they do is they use different sea defences to protect different areas of the coastline. Okay, and for this we've got 3 strategies that they use. Okay, what are the 3 coastal strategies that you can do to protect or manage the coastline? Who can remember these ones? Who can remember these? Let us know in the chat, guys. What different management strategies can be applied to managing the coast? Any ideas? Well, first of all, we've got do nothing. It is what it is. No sea defences are put in place. Do nothing. Number 2 is managed retreat. Temporarily protect the coast until you retreat away from that, remove whatever you've got there, move the people away, move the businesses away, manage retreat. And the most effective one, probably, or one of the most effective ones, is hold the line. It's like a military phrase, hold the line. No matter what happens, this coastline is not going to be eroded, okay? We're going to protect it at all costs, which is very, obviously, expensive and requires a lot of high-tech engineering. So you've got these 3 options. You can hold the line, you can retreat over time, allow some natural balance in the coast, or you can do nothing. Right, I'm now going to draw a map of this coastline, and we're going to show you all the different features along here. So you might just want to just give me a second just to draw this, guys. Right, I'm going to put some places on here. So if you can just draw that for me there. It's a bit of a weird shape, but it'll all become clear. This is what the coastline kind of looks like. I'm going to put some places along here as well. There we go. I'll put another one there. So here is Flamborough Head. It's a headland. I've already talked about Flamborough Head. So Flamborough Head is a place. It's also a headland. Look, extends out into the sea. So that is Flamborough Head. Just colour it in a bit of green there so you can see what it is. So there's Flamborough Head. This is on the Holderness. This is the whole of the Holderness coast. Then we've got Bridlington. Bridlington. That's the biggest place on the Holderness coast. It's got a population over 30,000, which is only small, really. It's smaller than Burton. But Bridlington. We've also got a few other places. We've got Skipsea. Skipsea. Let me just zoom in so you can see these now. How are we getting on there? So Flamborough Head, Bridlington, which is a town. Then you've got Skipsea there. We've got Hornsea. Some people may have been to Hornsea. It's very popular. Hornsea, seaside place. And then we've got our most famous controversial village. This is the one you must know for your exam. This is the Mappleton village. Mappleton village. It has a population of around about 340 people. So it's only a small village, a population of around about 340 people. Then we've got Easington, which is where there is a gas terminal that brings the gas off the North Sea, Easington. And then we've got a very, very famous spit here. And this is called Spurn Head / Point. Some people call it Spurn Point. Some people call it Spurn Head. And this is a beautiful, beautiful hooked shaped feature. That's the spit. So they hook around. Yeah. Hook shaped feature. That's how you know it's a spit. Let's just put the coastline in now. Let's put the sea in. Oh, we need to put the management type in actually. So using our key, hold the line is where Bridlington is. So Bridlington has hold the line. And so does Hornsea. So the government, the local council have protected Bridlington, a large town. They've protected Mappleton. Hornsea, they've protected Mappleton as well. So they've protected these three main areas of the coastline. They haven't protected Flamborough Head because they don't really need to. So there's do nothing there. Around Flamborough Head, do nothing, that's the green. Because it's a headland, it's resistant rock, don't really need to spend money on sea defences. The next section of coastline here, Skipsea, has not been protected. So this little village, Skipsea, is eroding into the sea. There's no protection between Hornsea and Mappleton. There is no protection between Mappleton and Easington. Easington has managed retreat. So there's our purple, managed retreat. Yeah. So once the North Sea gas runs out, they're going to remove the rock armour that's in place here and roll back the coast, allow it to naturally balance. They will allow Easington to erode in the future. And then around Spurn Head, there is do nothing. So most of this coastline is actually do nothing approach. So we're just going to put the sea in so we can see what's here. Yeah. This is the Humber estuary, so we'll put this in as well. There we go. This is the Humber estuary. And most of the land in this area is used for tourism. So they tend to have a lot of caravan parks along the coast. Holiday parks. Yeah. So this coastline is largely used for tourism, or it's used for agriculture. So obviously we don't want to be losing it to erosion. This is part of the local economy. So we've got agriculture and tourism are big factors in the area, and that's what forms the economy. Just colour those bits in there. There we go. So tourism economy and agricultural economy. So any land lost is really agriculture. Agricultural economy is really detrimental because farmers are losing farmland, losing space for crops. Less crops can grow, less food to sell. And obviously tourism, we've got caravan parks all the way along this coastline, and they are very popular, but they're getting, obviously if the land erodes, you've got less space for those caravans, which means there's less people going on the park. The money is lost in terms of number of pictures that they can sell for caravans. Less people visiting means lower profits, might mean potentially job losses and things like that. So this coastline really relies on the land that it's got available to it. So we're going to pick out just a couple of areas. And first of all, we're going to pick out Bridlington. Okay. And at Bridlington, there is a seawall. Okay. A seawall. So where there's large populations, there's a lot of infrastructure, roads, a lot of housing, a lot of businesses, they build a seawall. Okay. So what's good? What are the positives about a seawall? What are the positives about seawalls and what are the negatives of seawalls? Hit us up in the chat, guys. 2 positives and 2 negatives of seawalls. 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages of seawalls. Can you let us see what you know? Have a drink of tea. So let's start with our positives. 2 positives of seawalls. Oh, thank you for getting involved. Excellent. Yes, Harry, well done. They are expensive. Around about £5,000 a metre. Per metre. So they are expensive. Around about £5,000 per metre. Also, they are effective at protecting from erosion and flooding. And let's go with they promote tourism. They promote tourism because I'm sure many of you have walked along a sea wall. They create something called a promenade, which is an area that you can walk along and enjoy the coastline. Go for a walk along the seafront on the seawall. It's called the promenades. They promote tourism. And yeah, Lily, let's get one of Lily's out here. Lily's put, they're expensive, they look ugly, but they can create a promenade. Yeah, well done. You got a promenade as well. Yeah, let's put that then. The negative of seawalls is they are unnatural. Unnatural. Is it double N? Oh, that doesn't look right, does it? Anyway, unnatural. They are unnatural. Aesthetically, they don't always look the best. They're a big concrete wall at the edge of the sea. I'd much rather see sand dunes. They look beautiful. Or nice, soft, grassy cliffs. They look fantastic. So there's our seawall, guys. That's one of our defences. And that you find seawalls at Bridlington. We also have them at Hornsey. So let's just draw a seawall at Hornsey as well. Hornsey's got one. And Bridlington's got one. They're very expensive. They only tend to be put in places where there's a lot of value. Okay. So Hold the Line tends to be for high value, high population areas. High value, high population areas tend to use Hold the Line. Right, let's get down to the controversy that this coastline is most famous for, and that is this huge rock groin here. At Mappleton, the Mappleton rock groin. It's famous for all the wrong reasons, kind of, because it's causing major conflict along the coastline. So this is the Mappleton rock groin, and as you know, sediment naturally backwash, swash, moves along the coastline through longshore drift. Then we've got this huge big groin, this rock groin, made out of large rocks, blocking all the sediment moving down this coastline here. And it all gets stuck at this groin. It's called terminal groin syndrome, where it blocks the sand from moving down the coastline. So what's good about the rock groin? Well, it protects Mappleton from erosion, which is amazing. So let's have a little look. So let's put a little thing here in the key. This is the Mappleton rock groin. Mappleton rock groin. It is very famous, but it's very controversial. It was built in 1991 for $2 million. That's a lot of money to protect 340 people. And that's one of the reasons why it's so controversial. £2 million was spent on this Norwegian rock that was transported over. So what's good about this rock groin? So let's have a look. Basically the sand gets built up here. So it builds up beaches to protect the coast. It makes the beaches bigger that act as a barrier. So it builds up the beaches to protect the coast. So it does protect Mappleton. And it is protecting a very important coastal road, which is used by lorries and farmers and all tourists up and down here. So it's protecting the B1242. Now, if you can remember, that's amazing. But it's just, it's protecting the B142 road used for trade. So lorries, tourism, all use that road, and it's protecting that road, which is a good thing. But let's have a look at the negatives. There is a lot of conflict with this defense. So I'm going to put that. There's a lot of anger with this defense. There's been some people not very happy with it. If you have a little look, one of the things that's further south here needs that sand. It needs that natural movement of sand to move down that coastline to regenerate, rejuvenate, kind of feed this spit down here. So there's conflict. There's a lot of anger in the community about this sea defense. Okay, conflict. So why is people not happy? It disrupts the natural movement of sediment along the coast. It disrupts the natural movement of sediment along the Holderness coast. Why is that a problem? Well, let's just move down here. we've seen increased erosion south of the rock groin. So when you protect one place like Mappleton, you actually might increase erosion in other areas. Now, that is the controversy behind this sea defence. When you protect one place, you might actually destroy another place. That's also led to this last one. Only 3% of sediment makes it to Sperm Point, which is here. This beautiful coastal spit, Sperm Point. Sperm Point is eroded. So this feature has now been eroded because it's not getting enough sediment down the coastline. Sorry, guys, I just realised I was off the page. So it's not getting enough. So this has all been eroded. Why is that a problem? Well, Sperm Point is an SSSI. Does anybody know in the chat what an SSSI is? It's a very important status. I'll give you a clue as well. It's got a little bird there, which is a symbol for a nature reserve. So what is an SSSI? Do you know? We can't lose Sperm Point. It's beautiful. It's got sand dunes on it. It's a beautiful coastal spit. It's also a SSSI. Do you know what an SSSI is? It is a site of special scientific interest. A site of special scientific interest. So let's just do a little summary of some of the key points here of the management of this coast. In some places, it's working really effectively. We've got sea walls, we have got dunes, we've got managed retreat here at Easington. So, key summary. Different sections of the coast are managed using hard and soft engineering. So they use different sea defences in different sections of the coastline. We've also seen, that's a positive thing, as a summary. Oh, we're running out of space, guys. Negative. Well, I'm running out of space. Again, if you run out of space, just put it on the back. Negative. Increased rates of erosion in some areas. When you protect one area of coast, you might actually lead to increased erosion elsewhere, which is not what you intended. Increased rates of erosion in certain sections of the coast, such as Sperm Point. That's not good. And also what we've also seen is in areas which are eroding, last little bit here now, we've seen a fall in house prices. Yeah, they can't sell their homes. Would you buy a house in this area where it's eroding? I don't think I would. So there's a fall in house prices. Those people that have got houses are going to struggle to pay for their insurance as well. Insurance companies will not want to pay out or cover houses on the Holderness coast. Oh my goodness, look at that. Guys, we have smashed it today, honest to God. Look at that. Well impressed. There's a lot of detail there, but remember, I've got people in the chat who are trying to get grades 7 to 9, so we have to go into some detail. Everything you need to know pretty much for our revision. We've got types of erosion, bays and headlands formations, caves, arches, stacks and stumps, and Holderness coastal management, and the conflict, the controversy, and the fact that they've managed some areas and it's actually caused increased erosion, especially further south on Spurn Head. controversial. So if yours looks like this, show your geography teacher, yeah, you'll get a Bromcom point. We'd love to see your work. I'm well happy with that. Well happy. But I'm absolutely tired out. Oh, site of scientific interest. Yeah, well done, Lily. Awesome. Yeah, I am done pretty much. I don't know about you guys, but thanks for joining us for your geography revision, the penultimate one. Remember, don't forget, next week is rivers. It's the last in the series. Watch the back catalogue, guys. Yeah, we've got one on hazards. We've got one on living world. We've now got one on coasts. There is one called Getting a Grade 9 on paper 1. Watch that one as well, Getting a Grade 9 on paper 1. Yeah, but you guys have been absolutely awesome. I really appreciate you hanging out with me on a Monday night doing your geography revision. If you haven't hit the like, give us a thumbs up, guys. We love that. Sir, I've already done my GCSEs. Yeah, I know you have. Yeah, don't need to revise. You don't. But I appreciate you coming in and dropping in and watching the live stream. How are you getting on anyway? What are you up to? College, I guess. Let us know. Let us know in the chat before we go. What are you doing? Yeah, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you already haven't. Give us a thumbs up. Helps to share the content with other people. And thank you for joining us, Harry. Really appreciate that. See you tomorrow in geography. You get your geography grade back tomorrow. Kaya, see you in form tomorrow, Kaya. Look forward to it. Thanks for joining us as well. Appreciate that. And Ethan, thanks for dropping in and hanging out, even though you didn't need to. Lily, you're a diamond. Well done. And a cat as well. I like that. Yeah, see you tomorrow in form. Mod. Nice one, Mod. Thank you for dropping in and keeping it all good. Have a lovely evening, guys. Keep feeling Christmassy. Keep up the revision for geography. We've got one more to go, and I will see you at school. Take care, guys. All the best. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.